IQ. We've got some Game Plan IQ team members on this call tonight. Alex Milano, who is the founder and developer of Game Plan IQ, along with the co-founder Noel Mazzoni. Noel can't be here tonight. He's on a flight to give a clinic talk down in Mexico tomorrow. But Alex and Noel were the brains behind the operation here of Game Plan IQ and the original founding of this product, which has really rapidly evolved and taken some steam here over the course of this year in 2026. Additionally, myself, Chris Reinert, Grayson Mazzoni, Xavier Suafilo, and Bobby Acosta, we're on this call to work to help you guys understand and answer the question which a lot of people might ask, like, what is Game Plan IQ? What can Game Plan IQ do for me? Why does this product exist? Why should I be interested in it? I'm going to spell it out to you exactly like I interpret it from my standpoint, as somebody who's coached it at the professional level, the college level, been a high school head coach. The number one thing that I feel like as coaches we always need more of is time. We're always stretched for time. And so much of the work that we do is caught up in minutia or small details of things that we need to perfect or get right in order to give that information properly to players. And Game Plan IQ can save you 8 to 10 hours a week. Game Plan IQ, think of it as a really, really intelligent GA or QC that is your right-hand man that you can't live without. Game Plan IQ has the ability to take whatever data you are putting into your huddle or your Exos, whatever your video system is that you use. I imagine most guys use Huddle. And if you take that data and you're inputting the data set cleanly and you're inputting the proper columns, Game Plan IQ can spit back out scouting reports to you. Game Plan IQ can spit back out tendency charts, opponent breakdowns. Game Plan IQ can even give you suggested play calls because it has the ability to cross-reference your self-scout and your opponent scout, look at things that have had success against your opponent, look at things in areas where you've had success against previous opponents who've run similar schemes, and it can suggest play calls to you situationally. In addition, we have an opportunity to build out your whole practice plan, a calendar, call sheets, wristbands, installs. It can script practice for you based off of your call sheets. We have the ability to draw on the Game Plan app, which we are working to continue to adjust that in a similar fashion to make it feel kind of like drawing on Visio. I know Microsoft Visio is a tool that a lot of professional and college programs use that maybe a lot of high schools don't. I know the Huddle drawing tool a lot of times leaves a lot to be desired. We are working on the drawing tool within Game Plan IQ to be able to draw your own personal playbooks within the app in a feature that works similar to Visio. And then ultimately, we're working on developing where that playbook can then become animated. And we have the ability to take this animation and run your specific plays against basic defensive structures or vice versa. Run your defensive calls against basic offensive plays. However it is that you want to teach the computer, you can have it. And now your playbook becomes more than just lines on paper. I know for a lot of guys here, one of the most intimidating things about the tech stuff is maybe you feel like you're not very computer savvy. Maybe you just prefer the whiteboard and the pen and coaching off of video, and all that stuff is excellent. This is an additional tool that we've worked to make as simple as can be so anybody can use it, everybody can have success with it, and with a few clicks of the button, you can get the most prominent feature of this app, which is basically to generate scouting reports and presentable scouting reports, tendency charts, suggested play calls, all with a few clicks of the button. So as we kind of get rolling right here, and we're going to demo the product and show exactly how this works. If anybody has any questions, please just enter the questions into the chat. Grayson Mazzoni is on here. We'll do his best to answer the questions in the chat if it's something that he can answer. If it's something that requires a technical demonstration or something like that, we'll come back to all of those questions there at the end. So just type those into the chat. He's going to keep monitoring the chat the whole time, and we'll keep this thing rolling. So here's what we're doing. We're going to go right now to the Game Plan site. So Alex, you want to pull up your computer and show us the demo website. So When you purchase GameplnIQ, you'll be directed to a sign-in sheet. You'll sign in, and then you'll end up on a home page that's going to look very similar to this. So a very easy setup right here that monitors. It gives you step 1, 2, 3, and 4 to help work to set up your team. Okay, right there where you have the ability to build out your schedule, upload game stats. We are working on getting this to where the stats that you enter, whether you pull it off of Huddle or you manually enter it, it can redirect off to Max Preps. So we're working to develop that as well, because I know that sometimes becomes a headache as you work to do your own stats. You feel like you're entering 2 or 3 separate places. It just becomes time consuming. So we're working on that. Then you see you have your opponent scouting and your self scouting stuff. So from right here, right now, very quickly, Alex has our team built right here. We can insert our logo. And then all of these other features on here, you see the statistics right there, offensive and defensive basics. Those things will fill in as we start to upload our self-scout data. You see a 7-day schedule, the next 4 games that you would potentially have in an upcoming opponent. So very, very quickly, Alex, you want to just throw a logo on there for a team, and we'll get started with how it is that this product can work and how quickly you can operate. So he's gone to the team right there. He's just going to upload a photo, general photo rules for how you would upload something. So he's got something saved on his desktop, loads it on in there. That same feature will work as you upload opponents or whatever it is you want to do. And you can dress this thing up to make it however pretty you want with different colors and those types of things. And so now we have the team that we're working on right here. We're the Central Tigers. Okay. From here within this My Team page, you see we can click on Overview up there on the top tab. Overview is going to automatically populate statistical fields based off of our self-scout data as it pulls what it reads in gain loss and the result categories of those column breakdowns. It's going to start to automatically populate and you're going to get broad what it is that you're doing for your team offensively and defensively. You can put in your team's roster on here and you can track your team. You can build out your offensive or defensive depth chart. Okay, here it is. He's got his Excel file of his roster right here. Imports it, and it fills it out. You can track your players. We can build out a depth chart. Click offensive or defensive depth chart up here. So your player drop down over here on the side, and you can fill this out however it is that you need to. You just want to go ahead and assign somebody over there to one position. Perfect. You can fill it out however it is that you need. Okay, and we have defensive depth chart doing the same thing up top. And then we've got player stats on the side, which will sit there, and those will populate off of your stat inputs from your data columns as well. So beyond just being a scouting report app, we do have a lot of different features that can keep all of your data, all of your different things that you have everywhere in one proper place. Okay. So we all are going to play a game coming up here pretty quickly. So we're going to go to add a game. We're going to go to the add game feature. Okay, so we're going to build out our schedule. So we're going to click on the schedule tab right here. We're going to add our first game. We have nothing on the schedule right now. Okay, so we're going to build an opponent. Just generically put somebody's name in. Opponent 1. We're going to set a game day. We can play them tomorrow. That's fine, or September, whenever it is. Whatever other data we want to input, that's easy, but we got an opponent. This is how quick and easy this can be. Okay, there is nothing built within this product right now as far as reading any sort of data. So over here on this across this row, you see opponent scouting data. And we're going to click import. What is required of you guys is that you take your huddled data that you enter, and we do have necessary columns that need to be filled out, and things do need to be filled out. The computer will read whatever you put in. So if you call something inside zone and then you call something inside zone strong, it's going to interpret it as 2 separate things. But if you refer to things exactly how it is that you view them and you want things to be paired and grouped together, the computer will interpret it that way. And we do have specific columns that need to be filled out so that this can read this and you can get the most out of the product. And that's something that we will lay out for you once you purchase the product. But we'll go ahead and explain exactly what it is. So right now I'm an offensive coach uploading my opponent's defensive data. So I've taken what I've inputted on Huddle, and it's normal generic stuff. And we're going to click next, and we're going to upload those Huddle columns. and we're going to upload a CSV that we've offloaded from the Huddle data entry, which whoever it is that enters data on your Huddle or is your video guy, whoever does that stuff on there will know how to do this. It's fairly simple. Most of you guys probably do it yourself. Okay. But somebody will do that. You take that data in there and it reads that 104 plays. And now you already have an opponent scouting report. So you can click on there and go to opponent scouting report. And now this opponent has been created, and we can go down to the overview. And now you can see the stats of what that defense that you are going up against, what they are doing. So you can see that whatever this team is that we're getting ready to go up against, their top front's an under front. 23% of the time, their top coverage is quarter. 17% of the time, blitz rate at 45%. All the different efficiencies based off of the play results and the way that the data has been entered in here. You get those different statistical breakdowns. You get expected values per play down here, explosive rates. This thing is reading through all of the different data. You can scroll back up. And we go to presentation. Oh, yeah, sorry. Go stay right there, Alex. You're correct. So now we go to defense. That's the broad overview. Now we get into the more of the bigger defensive breakdown right here. And you can see all the different snaps, the yards allowed, the yards per play, all the different numbers of fronts that they've used, different coverages. And now we start to get where these things start to play out, their tendencies at a glance, their common fronts, coverages, and blitzes, when they're doing it situationally, what coverages are paired with it. All of that stuff starts to show up in here as this has read through all of the data. Okay, and that's an overview of tendencies that we can do this for fronts. Now you start to get the full breakdown of all the different fronts that you would see, pie chart graphics of how that stuff works out. The different, scroll back up, Alex, for a second. You can see the different yards allowed by front. Okay, so you can see that this team struggled against with their over front or their tight front, whatever it is, what the yards per play allowed versus those fronts were. You can get the different fronts by down. So this thing's pulling things situationally for you. So it's looking at things through the lens of down and distance. It's looking at things through the lens of hash mark. It will review data through the lens of personnel. And so you see all the different breakdowns of fronts. And I mean, this thing has all of the different situational things that you could ever possibly want. You can scroll back up, Alex. So this will do this for coverages. Just buzz that real fast. It's out, now you're seeing all the different coverages and now when they're calling those coverages, the breakdowns by situations, the number of times they're doing it, success rates, blitz rates that goes with it, usage rates, all of those different things. Go back up. Does the same thing for blitz, their blitz rate, when they're blitzing, what they pair it with. Okay, scroll back up. And then their plays faced. This one's really cool. So now you can start to see, okay, this team has seen roughly 54% of the time run, 46% of the time pass, keep rolling down. And then now you start to see basically a passing hit chart. Okay, so this is where all of the passes were thrown and completed or incompleted or touchdowns through the course of this breakdown. You can start to see over here on the side that this team gave up a high percentage of completions. You see the different plays and where they hit. Over there on the bottom down there, you see the bubble screen went for big yardage. They've got the mesh, the flood, the play action sale, all of those different things that starts to show up. You get a complete passing zone chart with stats, what the passing rate was as far as completion percentage and yardage based off of the throw and the depth of the throw in relation to the line of scrimmage. You can start to see all the different passing zone statistics, passing plays and what has had success and what percentage of completions those were on based off of that particular concept. And then you can see the yards per attempt, different success rates and all those things. Go back up. So this thing rolls through all of the different plays faced. Click the more breakdowns right there, Alex. Yeah, there we go. The run stuff. Now you start to get, so yeah, those were all the passing statistics. Now you start to get all the run stats based off of efficiencies of run gap, where people were having success running the football against them, the different plays that they have and the different yardages. I saw in here a question about how this looks from a defensive point of view. Everything that you're looking at right now has the ability to invert. So we have this built defensively as well. So we're showing an offensive break. So this is basically an offensive coach looking at a defensive breakdown. We have this built the opposite way as well. So you can see the running plays versus the different fronts and where things have had success. Let's scroll back up. This is where you really start to make your money on this feature. Click to presentation. This thing also will build you presentable scouting reports. So I know a lot of those charts become different guys like different things, right? So a lot of those charts are awesome. They're great tools to be able to evaluate. They're great tools for coaches to be able to got to kind of get the feel for what the coach that you're going up against is doing, which is really the big part of this feature is we're trying to look and see through the lens of, when you first turn on the game tape and you're trying to get a feel for that coach that you're going to go up against, and you spend all that time to try to get like what it is that he is, what are his themes, how does he operate. This is doing a great job of trying to eliminate a lot of that preliminary time where trying to figure out, it's going to tell you, hey, this is kind of what this guy thinks, this is what he does situationally, this is how he reacts, and this is what you can anticipate. And then you get these situational presentations that you can export these into PowerPoints or upload them as PDFs, and you can present these to your players. These are presentable PowerPoints. So you start to see kind of in more generic terms, something that's presentable and readable in a player meeting. Hey, this is what you need to know. This team is going to base in an over front. Normally they want to play cover four behind it. They're going to blitz on 48% of their snaps in that scope. Verticals hits at 15 yards per play. Bubble screens have been big against these guys, so we need to lead with some verticals when we need to exploit that. And then once they start to back off, hit the bubble screens, right? Keep rolling, Alex. So you start to see now this is basically condensing all of the different pie charts and different tendency charts and things of that nature into presentable scouting reports that you can use with coaches, that you can use with your players, condensing that information that you saw within all of the charts. Keep rolling. So you start to see just now their defensive fronts, coverage breakdown. So now this is giving you more the broad picture, right? So you got all of the micro stuff early on, which a lot of the coaches will use early on in your game plan. Now you start to get a little bit more of the macro of that same data that you want to use when you're presenting to your players. And now this is a great slide right here for understanding probably how to script practice, how to card it, right? We know that this is the stuff that we're going to need to rep against because this is the stuff that's most common within their structure. Keep going. And now we start to see this is where the algorithm starts to really work, right? Now you start seeing, hey, what hurts this defense? Okay, these plays hit at this percentage of time, yards per play, and their success rates on their efficiency. So now you start to see what those things are. This team obviously gave up a lot in the passing games. You really only see one run structure show up on here. We see a lot of heavy success rate within the passing game. Keep rolling. Okay, and now you did the different fronts that you would see out of their sub package. So go back, Alex. So that's it. So this thing is built presentation wise for base downs, third down, and red zone. Now go click that one more time. That drop down. You see right here. If we were on defensive scouting right there, now you see it's the inverse right down there, right? So you get the defensive scouting based on third down, red zone, based off of the perspective that you're looking for. The third down in the red zone have the ability to group these things however it is that you want to know. Different people interpret different things for field yardages and third down situations, and it has the ability for you to change it. But once again, you start to get different the different tendencies that you would get situationally within third down or red zone. Again, repeating out to you what the different fronts that you would see and the different expected coverages and blitzes broken down by where that field range is, and you have the ability to adjust that field range for yourself. Okay, let's roll out of all of this, Alex. I think they got a pretty good idea here on that stuff, and let's go ahead. And so now all you've seen right now is the part where all we have done is taken a sample set of data, which was 104 plays. So I basically 2 games worth of an opponent defensive data, pumped that in, and that's what we get right there. Now, if we go back to the schedule portion, and so we already put in the opponent scouting data. Now we're going to go to our game file, and we're going to upload our game data. So we've uploaded simply scouting data off of the team that we're going to face from the side of the ball, the lens that we're looking at. Now we just uploaded game file data. So we played that team. Okay. And this is our self scout data from that particular game. Okay. So go into that. And now this machine is going to cross reference whatever is populating within the course of your schedule in your self scout data and cross reference it to the opponent scout data across from it right there. And this is where it starts to give you predictability of suggested play calls and all of those things. So now we're looking at our self scout. So now we get an overview of our self scout, what it is that we're doing, where we're having success, when we're running the ball, when we're passing the ball, what our key situational metrics are, how we're performing on a variety of different factors based off of yardage or efficiencies, when we're having that success as far as time during the game, right? First series, second series, third series. You can down and distance, field position, get an analysis of all of our play calls situationally right here to see exactly what it is that we're doing and where we're having success. Broken up by categories. Okay, you can go back. Yeah, this is that. That's why I wanted the play grouping down there. Play grouping down there at the bottom. So now we can start to see it's looking at the plays that we've run and now where we're having success. Keep rolling, Alex. It can perform analysis just like you would looking at an opponent on your run game, on your pass game, the different things that we saw in the opponent scout. It's doing that piece now. And so now you get the same cross-reference to data that you would get for an opponent scout. You get that for yourself as well once you start to add in your self-scout data. Now we want to go, Alex, now let's go put in a second game. Yep. And let's start to work through towards the play pool. Start to work through that piece. So the machine gets stronger over time. It gets stronger with more data input. And we have different variations of what the game plan software that we're offering. When you upgrade to the pro mode, which is a step above, now the suggested play call piece really starts to take on a whole nother level. So take a look right here. Once we drop this in, and after we drop this and we show this, I'm going to show what those columns look like. You want to switch to yeah, go to the full studio. Now now we start to get into, so we're 2 games in. We've got our opponent scouting data in there. We've got our self scout data in there, and now the machine is starting to look at, okay, your open field rundowns, your pass downs, your third downs, your red zone, their structures, what they like to do, what they like to run, and now we have the ability to start giving you suggested play calls in each situation. So, click the other one, Alex. Yeah, that one. So we'll go. There we go. Okay, you got 00. So now the machine has read through exactly what your opponent is doing, where they've struggled, and where you've had success. And now what are running our cross-reference of our self-scout versus their opponent scout. Now the machine is telling you in your play terminology exactly what you should run against what you're anticipating seeing situationally from that defense. So if you roll it down right there, you see under the pass right there, it's calling for a dual right snag dagger. Because when that team runs cover 2, they've struggled against a concept similar to that, giving up something like 12 yards per play, right? And it's an 18%er that they're going to run cover 2 in that situation, right? And so it's reading through the data to give you predicted play calls based off of where you've had success, what they've given up, and it's cross-referencing those data entry points to create this effectively like this play call sheet for you. So the cool thing about this app is this is not AI. So this is not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence effectively scans the internet and gives back to you most common responses, right? So you pose a question to the internet, and it's going to give you a response based off of where it sees the most common crossover of information and connectivity points of data. This is not AI. This is football intelligence. This is code. So effectively, GameplnIQ is over 106,000 files of code that have been written out to effectively teach GameplnIQ what football is, how to play football, and how to interpret football data. And that's what Alex, who's an automation engineer, is a professional at, and what he's spent better part of the last 3 years building within this system. And it's got some really cool features to it. So beyond this, so now we've gone from some of the generic things that we have and the ability to hold your team data and build depth charts and build out your team and get tendency charts and scouting reports and presentable features and suggested play calls. We also have some other tools that are really effective on here that are still being developed and built out. So, Alex, you want to take them through call sheets and wristbands, and then we can work into like the play diagrams and the play animator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Alex,
So
sorry to
yep.
interrupt. There was a couple of questions that I'm
Okay.
not able to answer that maybe you could hit real quick.
Okay. Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
I'll pull those up. I'll read those to you. Okay, so
Okay.
um, can the presentations convert to Google?
Convert to Google. When you mean Google Slides,
That's from Kyle
whoever.
Moore.
That was Kyle.
I know that the presentations can be exported off as PDFs, and the presentations can are they're built as PowerPoints. So you just
Yep.
yeah, Google Slides is what he's
Yeah.
asking.
Okay. Yeah. So Google Slides, yes, you can export. You can export however you want. The only format that you can't is actually, you can't do like a CSV or anything of the data, but everything else for the PowerPoints, you can do Google Slides, PowerPoint, PDF. So anything you really want for a PowerPoint.
The
Um,
other question was the from Brandon for the roster and stats. Does it work with Max Preps? Can you export the roster and stats?
Yes, so you can export everything as a Max Preps text file or XML file.
Very nice. Real quickly, Alex, before we move over to those other features, I know this
Yep,
is probably a common question. You want to share or open up and share like the Excel file, which all you have to do is save it as a CSV and it converts. But the Excel file to see the columns that you're filling out, and then like kind of a sample of the data that you've put in, so the guys understand what needs to be put in for this machine to effectively interpret the data. That's
yeah,
possible.
absolutely. Yeah, so as Chris was saying, these are mostly just common huddle column data that you can export right from your huddle. These are actually exported right from my team's huddle. The only ones that are like non-typical are the running gap one, and then another one that people don't always fill out. I think some people do though is pass zone. I know you can get a little chart in huddle if you fill out the pass zone. Ours is similar, but it will actually give you where the ball's being thrown. And it has a nicer like graphic and stuff, but that you can also you can customize the pass zone on our app. So Huddle has 9 zones. You could set it up to have 20 zones if you wanted, and know exactly where the ball's going every play. So that's one of those ones that I would say is atypical, maybe. That in rush and gap. And besides that, it's all standard columns. And if you guys do your stats on huddle with like opponent rusher and stuff, I know our team does. It will do all your player stats for you automatically in the app.
Can you share that
Oh,
Excel file?
yeah, sorry.
Or do you want me to do it?
Oh, no. Oop, sorry. Can you see it now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So you guys, and Alex, let me share mine on this one.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Give me share permissions on this one.
Yeah, let's see. There you go. Okay, should be good.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so if you guys take a look at this is the data set. So we tried this with the data this last year, and that was where a lot of this kind of started to fine tune. This was the data set that I was using to fill out opponent scouts and also our own personal self scouts. Okay, everybody can see this, right? Somebody just say yes. I can't see anybody right now. Alex,
Yep,
everybody
I
can
can
see
see
this
it.
right now.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay. A lot of this stuff is generically created by Huddle Assist. We all know that Huddle Assist is not exactly reliable, but if you did just solely use the Huddle Assist data and relied upon the Huddle Assist data, you would get back a scouting report just in Huddle Assist terminology, okay, which can be effective, but probably not as effective as what you guys would like. Basic game data, right? So the play number, whether you know the offense, defense, kicking, whatever you're on, quarter, series, down, distance, yard line, hash, play type. Is a runner, is it a pass, gain or loss? From the offensive perspective, now backfield set with we need if there was a shift, offensive formation, formation strength, which is less important than these next columns. The result, which is important, uh, uh, family, however it is that you want to interpret things. And for breakdown purposes, I typically put things in generic basic football code just to so calling something outside zone closed helped with breakdowns so that I knew where the ball was going and then just keep it in generic terms, right? And then protection, your past family, just something that you would say, hey, that was a mesh player, hey, that was verts, or if it's something that you don't run or don't quite have, just putting it into something that is easily readable for the machine, and then giving the opposite side of the ball as well what was going on, right? So I was an offensive coach. I put in the opponent offense, like, so if I'm breaking down a defense, right, that offense that they were going up against, I put in that data too, so I could see how they were reacting against those particular plays. So then you put in the defensive personnel, the front, the stunt, if it's a dog or a blitz, the coverage, any sort of unique concept that you might see. And then Alex talked about pass zone and run gap. That's all that you need, right? It's not a whole ton of different things. It's not stuff that's crazy. It's all stuff that can be put into your terminology, and the machine spits back really well based off of that set of data. All right, Alex, you want to start to take them now towards developing call sheets, the wristbands, practice plan, and then we can get into the play diagrams and the play animator.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now what we can do is I'll start kind of where we left off at the game plan. So all these situations are all 100% customizable. So like third down, for instance, you can set them say between um, let's say 2 and 7 yards, right? And then you tell it how many plays you want. So I want 3 runs, maybe 3 passes, right? And then click the little magic button, and you're gonna get your six plays, your 3 runs, and your 3 passes that are going to be best against their fronts and their coverages that they most commonly run. The cool thing about this is it's actually cross-reference, so it's what they do versus what you do well. So it tells you what they do really bad defending and what you do really well as an offense, and vice versa for defense. Again, a lot of this is offensive because we're offensive coaches, but it's it's the same, if not better, for defense. Actually, it does the same stuff. It says offense is going to run inside zone here, and it's again like if your data is good, even if you have the huddle assist stuff, it's gonna help you and it's gonna save time. That was the whole kind of how this thing started was me trying to save time. I have a young son, and I really just wanted more time with him, and it's hard during the football season to do everything at once, right? Uh, so one of the cool things that we did on here is this can actually plan your practices and do your call sheets for you too. So you'll see I have my opponent too. These are just generic, your best runs, best passes right here. But what we can do is we can send this list to a call sheet. Um, so we're gonna send this to our practice sheet, okay? So now if we go over here and we go to practice, there's that call sheet that we just made. And again, like you can set up whatever situations and tendencies you want in there, and it will generate it for you. So that's a pretty cool thing. Other cool thing is you can schedule your practices from here. So let's just say we want to do a third down period. We can put in some other periods too. So like indie period, right? And say we want to do, like I said, we're going to do a third down period. So on this practice scripts, what we can do is all those plays that were just added in there, we can take third down and drag and drop them over here. And in here, we can fill out our practice scripts. So uh, these are all going to be third down, right? And let's say, we want to go.
And it can fill in the opposite side of the ball for you too, right? The defenses that you anticipate seeing in those situations, correct?
Yep. So if you want to go and then save, and then what you can do is you can then give this to your coaches, and it will have all those plays in there with the defense, and you can script them however you want. Um, and so again, it's a huge time saver. Like I said, like this is really how it was designed. It was designed by, a couple coaches. We just, you don't have all the time in the day, and um, the more convenient we could make life, the better. So, yeah, that's what I spent the last like 2.5, 3 years writing code for, and um, I think it's a pretty good product, but we're always looking to improve it too. And we use it every day, so we see what needs to be improved, and then just feedback from you guys is imperative too. So, um, okay,
And
so there's
all of these things are built to be able to print. So everything that you see throughout the app, you saw the different, the scouting reports, the tendency charts, all you'll see a playbook tool here pretty soon. All of this stuff has the ability to print out. So it's not just living digitally on the app. It has the ability to go transfer to paper as well.
Yep. And then yeah, you can build them out as like drill periods, and you could say running back drills. It will tell you if you mess up, like if you have a 10-minute period and nothing scheduled, or you have a 15-minute period and 10 minutes of it is unscheduled, it will let you know. You can say back drill. All right, so now we're gonna say 15 minutes. So that warning went away. Um, can save those changes, and then again, everything's print friendly. So you can give it to your coaches or your staff, and let them have the full practice plan, and
You
it's
can show the
it's
call
quick and
sheet
easy.
and then show the call sheet.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then here's the practice call sheet. Go. Oop, hold on. do- So that's because there's only a few plays, but what we can do is I can send it to the game sheet and
That's
then
yeah. Let's see the game
yeah.
sheet.
Um, so the other one of the other cool features is on here. When you practice a play, it will let you know. Um, so you see these were all plays that we added to our third down script. So it let us know that we ran them each one time this week. If I go back over here and say, say I throw them in here again, when I come back to my call sheet, you're gonna see these are all two. So it lets you know it keeps track of where you're at all week. And if you haven't ran a couple plays or um, it gives you a good idea. If by Thursday you have a play on your call sheet that you haven't run, you're probably gonna want to scrap it, right? Or run it a lot that Thursday. So yeah, it's just there's a lot of tools like this in here. And the other thing is this will do your game day call sheet for you. So a cool thing about this is you can actually take your practice call sheet and send it over directly to the game day one. And you can put them in any period or any column you have on your game day call sheet. So I'm just filling this in basic right now. Uh, I mean, you can set it up however you want. We did this with the Renegades all season, and it worked out pretty well. So it's been heavily vetted. But now here are all my plays in there already for us, ready to rock. And then
Show what it looks like on print.
yeah, so when you go, and again, there's all kinds of settings in here too. We can do You can make these split field columns if you want to do left and right hash. There we're gonna go landscape, and then it will auto fit for you too. So no matter how much stuff you have in there, it will fit on the screen for you. Like we usually go again. There's all settings too. Like this is 100% customizable. You can say like some guys want it to stretch the page. We can do that. You can do auto fit. Um, you can say how small you want the smallest font, how big you want the biggest font. Um, it really is. You know, once you get something that you like and you stick with it, it's very consistent for you, and you really don't have to change any of the settings. Um,
Show that makes a wristband too.
yep. Another cool thing is it will do your wristbands for you. Um, any kind of saying or setting and type of wristband you'd want, it will generate them for you. Wristband size, say you want two columns, 5 plays each. You can configure it that way. If you want one to have, say you want one to have 8 plays and the other to have the rest, you can do that in there. You can override so you can do separate, run, and pass. Um, yeah, what else we got? Override font, numbering. You can do runs and passes, different numbers. So there's a bunch that you can do in here.
You want to take us to the the play drawing tool now, the playbook tool?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh,
Can you do a scout team script? Was one of the questions.
a scout team script. As far as yes,
Generating a script off of the tendency charts and like the
yeah,
script predicted plays.
yeah. So in the in here there is where's the
So
there's a scripting section where you can fill all that in and you'll be able to send it to that particular opponent. Where is it in here? The playbook section. So this would be what your opponent's running, and you can add plays into here for each individual opponent you play. So that's where you'd put your scripting stuff into there. Um, and it works exactly like this playbook section does. So we'll go into here, can add a play. We'll say my play. Okay. So this I tried to make as easy as possible. I know Visio and PowerPoint are kind of painful for football coaches. So this I try to keep as simple as possible. With this, what you can do is you can actually just go over the field, which automatically takes your logo and your default settings. And what you can do is you can right click and add an offensive line, and there's our offensive line. And then again, add an offensive player, right? Let's see, add another offensive player. Oop. And then I'll show you what's the biggest time saver with this is you can save it as a formation and as a template, so you never need to draw this again. All you need to do is you fill it out once. So there's my formation right there. I'm gonna select all of it, and then I'm gonna right click on it and click save as a template, and we'll call this is gonna be dual right. Okay. And then it asks what section I want to put it in, and I'll put it in formations. And now, anytime I'm on here, if I right click and I go to formations and click dual right, there we are. So obviously, huge, huge help. Other thing you can do is if you just want to flip it, there you go. You can flip it there, and then if you want to save that as dual left, you can do that too. So here, we'll do that. So now I'm gonna right click, save. We're gonna say this one's dual left, right? And we're
you
gonna
have
add it to
and you
formation.
have the ability to save anything that you want. So if you clicked on, let's say you drew a full pass concept and you saved
Yep.
that as a pass concept, it would do the same thing. It would save the whole piece. So if you
Yep.
drew,
So actually, let's do that right now. So we'll do Y cross, right?
so whereas Visio was engineered to be, an architecture program, that Alex has engineered this to be a specific football drawing um, program, but in a similar vein to what Visio was. Because I know how limiting PowerPoint is drawing on PowerPoint, and same with the huddle drawing feature. I'm not sure how many of you guys have had experience drawing on Visio, but Visio, in my opinion, is the best drawing feature because it gives you more power to be creative, and you're not limited by boundaries. And this is working to develop off of that, but this is built specifically for football.
And then the other cool thing is you can set your progressions. So these are all the colors are all customizable however you want. But what you can do is you can go and you can give your quarterbacks their reads if they're looking for their reads. And I'm going to show you next. But what's cool about this is you can set your reads versus every different coverage you see. So we can add a different variation to this play. and if they have a different read, you can click it and change their read color. And then when you save this, so I'm gonna bring you guys to the play animation now. And again, this is being developed right now. Um, but there's my play that we just added in. So what you can do is so you can customize the defensive zones and their locations. So I have them all set for the middle of the field. Uh, but what's cool about this is you can actually watch your play being run.
This piece is still developing, fellas. This is we're still in the process of writing the code on this. I know some of the defensive movements right now are the pieces that we're continuing to work on.
Yeah. And then so there would be the first play. And then here's the second play where the progression changes for the QB, so the lines change. So they can at least they can visualize it more or easier, I guess. And like I said, the defensive stuff is all this is I've made it so it's customizable. So you can edit the zones and you can move them over however you want. It we were adding in like all different variations of cover four and stuff, and it started getting a little crazy. But by the time the animator's out, it's gonna be 100%, and it will have all your coverages and stuff preloaded in there, and you'll be able to add stuff in there if you want it to. So, um, trying to think what else, Chris. You think I'm missing something?
No, I think that that's about it right now. We've been on here for about an hour. Uh,
Okay.
we got a question right here. Can you show us how a playbook install might look and print out variations you have?
Yep. Yeah. So
You have your you want to go you want to open up a different yeah.
yeah, I can open up one of my
Yeah.
actually, I might have just cleared it, but
Want to do the Renegades one?
oh yeah, we can do that.
Use the Renegades one.
Yeah, let's do that. Or we could I did these ones earlier this week. This is okay. So we can do all you'd have to do, actually let's do the Renegades one just because there's more in there. Uh, all right. So all you'd have to do is as you add and draw, you what you can actually do is you can add PDFs. So when this first started, it we didn't have the playbook drawing tool yet. This started because I was just trying to save myself some time doing call sheets, and I became friends with Noel, and I saw how he was doing call sheets, and I was like, you know, I think I could speed it up for us, and now it came to this. But it originally was just call sheets, and so you have the ability to upload a PDF to the to your playbook, and you can also draw it now. Um, and you on top of that, you can add video to it, and you can organize it however you want.
Yeah,
And you can put
you can
in
import
your
your
play
huddle video
variation.
into this.
Yep. Yeah. So if you want to add video, I know we got. Let's see. Okay. So then see that. Where is it? So here's our pass, and then we
So
can
that down there, what you see, that's a PDF. So that's drawn in Visio, and then it was uploaded as a
is
PDF.
our yep, and then here's a video.
And then you can upload the video. Do you have a drawing, Alex? Do you have one of the sample drawings from the playbook tool creates if you draw it within game plan?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, that was just on the last one I was just on. Let me let me go into this account.
So this will draw out, it'll take your drawing, whatever you put in, and it'll print it out this way. So it has the ability to, and this is incomplete in the sense that we hadn't filled in that data for that stuff. But as whatever you
Yeah, let me.
put in,
I have some that are filled in actually here. Yeah, so this one's filled in, so this would be a better example.
so this is when we put in all the different teaching points and coaching points along the side, and now you get the drawing that you created within the drawing application, and then you've got the different organizational stuff up at the top, and then as you scroll down to the bottom, you start to get the different coaching points that we have built up. So this is the template that we built out for it. So you had to put in coaching points for protection, coaching points for the quarterback, and then generic assignment notes right there for the other people involved. And we have a different template for pass play, different template for run play, and then there's a similar template built defensively. Again, everything that we're showing goes both ways,
Yep.
offensively and defensively.
And then the one of the cool things is these protections you can draw them in, and all you have to do on the side is once you add a protection in, you can hit this drop down and say it's 50 and 51, right? Or 51 52. What you can do is you just select it off there and it will actually just draw in. It will take that protection for you and draw it. Um, so like we can add one in here. So let's say 51, 52, right? And now again, do it exactly like we would do. I'm not gonna go crazy in here. But what we can do now is say they're just a little hinge block. Oop. And then we have a lineman end cap T. All right, so we're gonna save this. Again, didn't go crazy with it, but just to show you guys some of the cool stuff you can do on here. Now on your play info, all you have to do is say 51, 52, and then when you go to print this now, there's your protection over here. And again, it's exactly how you draw it. So obviously I would take more time to do it, but just to show you guys how easy it is for you, that would be how you would do it. So
I
yeah,
think I think right now, fellas, I think we're good for what we can show tonight. GameplnIQ is live. GameplnIQ is available for purchase. GameplnIQ is available for $299 for the season, which speaking from experience, I know I bought a product when I was at Servite for $2,500 that I didn't feel like was worth what this product can do. We're here to help. We're here to want to make guys' lives easier. We're here to want to help give you back the most precious resource that you have, which is time. And I'm telling you, you guys need the app. You need this. It's something that can save you monumental amounts of time, give you the answers that you need so that you can do your job, which is game planning your opponent and spending time teaching with your guys, not sitting there trying to become a magician of Excel or other different types of PowerPoints and slides and all the different stuff that you got to draw in order to best illustrate stuff to your guys. So I think we all believe in this product. And if you guys got any other questions right now, feel free. We'll be happy to answer them right now. All right. If there's no other questions, we'll stop the recording. We'll send this. I think we're gonna plan on sending this recording out to everybody that signed up, right, Alex?
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna add it to our YouTube channel too, which is same at GameplnIQ. So it's gonna be on there too. And I'll send it out to everyone who registered too. Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you guys being on here. If anybody else has anything for the betterment of the group, let us know. But and we appreciate and we are open to feedback too, guys. But this thing is getting off the ground right here. This is early on in the stages of what we're trying to get accomplished. So if you guys have any feedback or anything that you guys need from us, please feel free to let us know. But we'll get this recording sent out, have it on the YouTube channel as well, and stay alert for notes from us.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Anything we can do to help you guys. If you have any ideas, we are full ears, just like Chris said. So please reach out if we can help you anyway. So, all right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Too.
Thank you.